everyone. Welcome to A1R Psychic Radio and Moonstruck TV. We're going to have a wonderful show this evening. It's 8 o'clock in the UK, so wherever you are in the world, I hope you're having a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or whatever it is. So today, I was thinking about what I was going to sort of talk about, and one thing that struck me was that on Friday, I think it was Friday of this week, may have been Saturday, I can't remember the exact day, but anyway, it was this week. We, in the town where I'm staying, they turned on the Christmas lights with lots of fireworks. And so it sort of reminded me of how Christmas is fast approaching. I wonder how many shopping days we've all got left. And we've also, I sort of thought about the fireworks and the lights going on and sort of all that sort of celebration. And what it made me think about is the concept of light and how important light is. So on the Earth plane, we have light where we switch on lights, and we can have electric bulbs, and we can also have lights from a fire. We could have lights from all sorts of things, but in a way, they're lights that we make. But there's two lights that we don't make, and one is daylight, and that comes from the sun. But the other is the light that surrounds us, the light that comes from the spirit world. And, and I think that's quite sort of, in a way, it's quite miraculous. Something that we almost take for granted or don't even realize that is there. But the light of spirit is always with us. We are never, ever alone. And they are always guiding us and supporting us in our life and in our, in whatever we're doing in our days, and in our nights. One of the things that the spirit world often say to me is that when I'm asleep and when I'm not compos mentis in this world, is that I actually go to the spirit world. And I believe that a lot of people do go to the spirit world at certain times in their life, and often when they're sleeping. I certainly believe that when people are in a coma, that their spirit leaves the body and goes to the spirit world, because the spirit world is like a safe harbor, and it's a safe place for us. But also it's a place of learning. It's a place of digesting what's going on in our lives, and it's almost like a sort of a regroup, a rethink, and we can sort of and often, I don't know how many times you've heard that expression, I'm going to wait until the morning to see how I feel about things. I'm going to sleep on it. And I think that expression is really interesting, because really, if you think about it, it does come from that idea of us going to the spirit world at night. But the light of life and the light of the spirit world, as I said, is always around us. And I think that when you also look at sort of the world, there is darkness and there is light. But the darkness is about what we create, what we do. If we do something that's negative, or if we have hatred in our hearts, or if we're not happy about something, then that's where this darkness comes from. And it's not sort of like anything more than that, I suppose. But so if we operate in goodness, then we are attracting the light to us. So light attracts light. And I think that's a really sort of good thing to sort of live by. So if we can live by good, we are going to be in the light. And if we're in the light, it's a much, much better place to be. It brings happiness to us. It brings us lightness. And it brings us happiness and love and all those sorts of things. So the moral of the story today is live in the light. Anyway, I know I've got a couple of callers that are waiting to speak to me, and I'm very Yes, so I've got Marilena in Montreal, Quebec. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good, and you?
And is that the French-speaking part of Canada? That's right, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
And do you speak French? Is that...
Oui, je parle français.
Oh, très bien. That's about my limits. Don't talk anymore. Otherwise, I'm going to start embarrassing myself. So, how can I help you? I'm a psychic, and I'm also a medium, so I can connect to loved ones in the spirit world. But I can also look at aspects of your life. Is there a particular way that you'd like me to work?
Well, my question was, will this year be a better year for me?
Yeah, that's a good question, and it's a good question that comes at this time of year, and it's something that we often reflect on.
Yeah.
Right. One of the things that I'm sort of picking up about around you, is there an issue with housing?
Yeah, a little bit.
Because I just heard the word housing, and I didn't know. I'm not quite sure where I'm going with this, but I just heard that word. And I know that freedom is quite important to you, and I've got this sense of wanting to be a little bit free with you. Would that make sense to you?
Yeah, yes, for sure.
And because I feel that it's almost like I want to put my head in a lock, in a head brace, and I feel like I want to sometimes scream and sort of like I'm not free, and I feel like claustrophobic and sort of heavy around me. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, it does.
And my guide is coming forward with what these details, and she is saying to me that this is really sweet what she's saying. She's saying you've had more than your fair share of difficult times, and this has been going on almost like far too long.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's an issue with you having strength. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, there are times where I feel like it's hard for me to deal with what I'm dealing with at the times that it gets hard. So.
Yes. And so my guide, her name is Osteria, and she says that she's offering to you, she wants to personally help you. And she's saying to me that the way forward for you is to have strength. And she's offering to give you that strength. She wants to give you that strength so that you can feel strong to deal with what you need to do, and also make some changes in your life. Because it's almost like it has to, for you to get past this situation, you have to make some difficult decisions and sort of and make some almost like awkward changes in your life. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, it does.
And so what she's doing is she's saying to me, she's going to personally take it. She's taken it upon herself to be around you if that's something that you would like. And she's going to bring strength, and she's going to uplift you, and she's going to guide you into a more serene time of your life. She says, because the spirit world, she says, knows that you're ready and that you need to go to this new stage of your life. And this is what she's going to bring to you. She's going to bring you to that new stage of life. How amazing is that?
That sounds amazing.
Yeah. She's saying to me that she promises you that she will not let you down, because she knows that you need. It's almost like she's saying you can't do this on your own. It's too big, and that's why she's offering this help.
Makes a lot of sense.
She's also she's drawing my attention to January, and she's saying that January is going to be quite significant around this whole situation, because she says that you it's almost like she's showing me getting the ball rolling in January, and she's showing me sort of like you sort of, it's like a ball gathering moss and rolling down the hill and just becoming stronger and stronger and stronger. And it's all going to start in January.
That sounds great.
She's saying to me that this time next year, she hopes to see all your circumstances as a distant memory. And I feel that there's going to be some radical changes in your life. And I feel one of them is going to be about where you live. Because I feel like I've got this feeling that you will be moving, and taking on sort of. Yes, I just get this feeling of moving. I feel like it's almost like I've got this. She's showing me 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and it's like 1 is the moving, and I feel like gaining this sort of freedom. But I also get this feeling that you're going to. I've also got this feeling with you that you're going to. There's something about sort of employment or changing sort of work, and I also I've also got this feeling that there may be when you move, I feel like it's going to be like a different, slightly different environment, and I don't know how far away you're going to be moving, but I've got that feeling of different environment, different people in every aspect of your life. It's almost like every aspect of your life needs to be looked at and some changes made. This has to, and you know, Osteria is saying to me that, you know, obviously you have your free will, and so she cannot intervene with your free will, but what she can do is she can sort of steer you to make these choices and give you strength to give you these choices. And if this is something you want, it will come to fruition for you. But she's certainly going to help you a lot. So how does that sound?
That sounds spectacular, honestly.
She's saying, and she's also saying to me that you're recognized in the spirit world as being a very good person, and well respected in the spirit world, because they're saying that you do there's a kind soul, a kind spirit, and you do a lot for others. And she's saying now it's our turn to help you.
Wow.
Yeah. So good luck with that. I'm really sorry.
I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much. I really needed this today.
Oh, I'm so glad. So glad I was able to help you. And also the Osteria, she's leaving me. I'm just, it's just my sense of humor. It's fine. You can have her. She's lovely. You'll love her. But I know that you're going to have a good time with her. But if you want to find me, I'm on Facebook, Gail Moffat, Spiritual Medium. So just, if you find me on there, if you need to speak to me again. So thank you for calling. Right, I have another caller, and I believe it's Elizabeth, is in Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. Hello, Elizabeth, are you there? Hi, Elizabeth.
Yes, I'm here. Yes.
Fantastic. what an amazing place to live in, Rio de Janeiro. Wow. I've always wanted to go there. So I'm a psychic and I'm a medium. I can connect to loved ones, or I can look at aspects of your life, and I've got lovely sort of guides. I've got healing guides as well. How can I help you?
Well, I just heard you could give me a reading. So I would like to know how it's going to be next year. If I'm going to find love, money, work.
Right.
If I'm going to be moving overseas or staying here.
Right. Okay. All right. Let me have a look. Ooh. So are you in touch with your parents?
My parents?
Yeah.
They are gone. They are not here anymore.
Right. Okay.
They have passed.
Okay, because I just heard the word parents, and I know that there was a need to talk about your parents because I feel that they're wanting to come through and talk to you. Is that something that you'd be open to?
Can you repeat, please?
I have your parents with me from the spirit world, and I feel that they would like to communicate with you. Is that something that you would be open to?
Oh, yes, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like that they're very, they feel quite sweet, and they're quite emotional as they're stepping forward. Because I get the feeling that they haven't had, I feel, would this be the first time that they've communicated with you?
Are they trying to communicate with me?
Yes. It's the first time, because I feel like it's the first time. Do you understand, Elizabeth?
Nice.
Because your father is saying to me that they've had some difficulty in watching what's been going on in your life, because they're making me open my hand, and I've got some coins in my hand, and I know that there isn't. It's almost your father is saying there's sometimes there's not enough money in your hand. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
And it's like he's wanting to sort of bring money to you and support you. And I feel like he wants to help you with your financial matters. Because I get the feeling with your father that he was quite careful with money and he understood money. And I feel that he would be, he tried to be secure with money. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
And I feel with him that he wants to help instill those ideas in you. He wants you to be careful with money, and he wants to sort of you to be more not sort of be more cautious with money, not so carefree with money, and he's saying that he wants this. He feels that if you are to have more care with money, then you are able to have. It would be your life would be slightly different. Does that make sense to you, Elizabeth?
Yeah, kind of. Brazil has been going, the place where I live has been going through a big economic crisis, but it's going to get better next year with a new president. So I hope to find a job.
Yeah. Well, this is what I feel that your father is wanting to help you with every aspect of financial matters. And I think that because of how clever he was with money, I feel that he's going to sort of I feel like he's going to be steering you and guiding you and helping you in your life. And I feel like he's really, really pleased to be able to come forward and give you this information, because I think it's long overdue. I just get this feeling it's long overdue, and he wants to do this. With relationships, I get the feeling with you that there's been times when relationships your father is saying to me that he's never quite approved of some of the relationships that you've had. He feels that they've never been up to the standard that he would like for you, because he feels that somebody should be like him, and good to be good enough for his daughter, and he's saying that because he's saying to me that people in the past haven't treated you well and haven't been nice to you. And again, I feel that he's had to stand by and watch this, and he hasn't liked this. And he's saying that if it's something that you want, he's going to, again, he will help you with that. He's modeling himself on somebody being he's the perfect man to be in a relationship with his daughter, and he wants to find somebody that's similar to himself. He's saying, look at me and look at how I treated your mum, and look at how I did things. And I feel that this is where he is going to be quite instrumental in your life.
Well, I like someone that lives abroad, that lives in the States,
right,
in California.
Oh, nice place. So let me just have a look and see what he says about that. I get the feeling with your father, it's very difficult to please him in anybody that's good for you. It's like, quite picky. It's like he's sort of got this big grin on his face as he's saying this, because he's saying to me that he feels that this person isn't sort of almost like up to scratch for you. He feels that you could do a whole lot better. However, he would respect your decision if you wanted to move forward with this person and help you regardless, he says. I've only got, I've just noticed I've got about 60 seconds left of the show. But one of the things that I'm been picking up as I've been going through the show, that I feel that it's quite important that I mention to you. Are you aware that you have a psychic ability?
I do.
Yeah.
But I haven't developed yet.
Yes. And I'm being urged by the spirit world that you need to be doing this and work more, because I feel that this is going to be almost like all I can do is share this experience with you, that for me, developing my mediumship and getting out there and doing this has been one of the greatest things in my life and will enhance your life no end. And I'm just getting this overwhelming feeling from all my guides and people around me. They're just saying, you've got to go and, well, you haven't got to do anything. It's, again, it's your free will. But I just get this feeling that if you choose to do this will be amazing. Because also I get the feeling that you've got the ability for hands-on healing. You're a healer as well.